Hi, my name is Keng from University Malaysia, Sarawak. Today, my presentation is about the development and validation of one-stop crisis center service quality instrument, also known as OSCC-Qual. As a doctor working in an emergency department, a busy emergency department, I have been seeing cases of domestic violence on a regular basis. And one of the major challenges faced by these survivors is the onerous need to move from place to place in order to seek treatment in the hospitals, making police reports, and in some instances, even to obtain temporary shelter from the social worker as well as from other non-governmental organizations. Unfortunately, this kind of movement exposes the survivor to further risk of abuse from the perpetrators, as well as placing them in a very uncomfortable positions of being subjected to risk of stigmatization as well as secondary victimization, where they have to repeat their story, their narrative as they go from one place to another place. So one of the solutions to minimize this risk of further abuse, stigmatization, as well as secondary victimization is the setting up of an integrated center known as One-Stop Crisis Center, or OSCC. OSCC is a place within many public healthcare facilities in Malaysia where multi-sectorial services can be coordinated and rendered to the survivors of domestic violence, child abuse, rape, and sexual assault survivors. In other words, it's a place where different agencies come to the survivors rather than the survivor goes to them. Despite the fact that Malaysia was one of the first countries to have OSCC, the quality of services given in OSCC had not been conducted. And neither did we have a specific instrument to measure service quality in OSCC. Unfortunately, healthcare services are complex and it's difficult to measure using a one-size-fits-all service quality instrument. Furthermore, a caveat in measuring service quality specifically in OSCC is the fact that unlike any other healthcare services, the services given in OSCC must be compassionately sensitive, protective, and able to facilitate multi-agency coordination. In this regard, Columbini et al. In 2012 had constructed a 5-pronged healthcare response model in managing cases in OSCC. So these 5 recommendations are that healthcare providers need to have, number 1, good knowledge about domestic violence, the protocols, the referral network. Number 2, they need to have the skills, the competency to examine and to manage injuries sustained by the survivors. Number 3, they need to have the right attitude, the non-judgmental, non-condescending attitude to accept survivors for who they are. Number 4, they need to have a conducive healthcare environment. Number 5, the integrity and good ethical principles. Keeping confidentiality, for example, maintaining privacy, and prioritizing the survivor's safety. So, using Columbini et al. 2012 model as our overarching framework, we embarked on this project to develop and to validate an instrument to measure service quality in OSCC, so hence OSCC-Qual, through a 5-stage approach. In stage 1, focus group discussions were conducted to identify the potential factors and items that measure service quality in OSCC. In stage 2, 43 items were first generated from content validation. In stage 3, 7 factors were identified from exploratory factor analysis and 1 item was removed. In stage 4, another 4 items were removed from our confirmatory factor analysis. And in stage 5, as the original version of the instrument was written in English, we have also performed translation into Malay and Chinese language. So based on the items loaded on these 7 factors, the factors were named as number 1, supportive environment, number 2, multi-sectorial coordination, number 3, tangibles, number 4, professionalism, number 5, information provision, number 6, competency of staff, and number 7, the attitude of staff. To the best of our knowledge, we believe this is the first instrument to measure service quality in OSCC. Interestingly, out of these 7 factors that mentioned earlier, our data show that only the factor of information provision was significant in influencing the overall rating of service quality. This suggests to us the importance of giving education and information to our domestic violence survivors, informing them of what's happening to them, what they need to do next, rather than keeping them in the dark. So, in conclusion, we have developed a new 34-item service quality instrument that measures the services rendered in OSCC, which we believe will be useful for OSCCs around the world. Now, the questions that I would like to ask before I end my presentation is this: have we actually met the foundational objectives of the philosophy of OSCC? Have we actually fulfilled the aim of giving multi-sectorial services to our survivors? We believe with these